Yo, what's going on guys? HyperX here. Today I want to talk about Warhammer 40k Chaos Gate Daemonhunters. The game recently launched and we're all fans of tactical RPGs on the channel, and some of the team are even Warhammer collectors, so we thought today we would bring you 8 things you need to know about this new game. I want to give a massive shout out to Frontier, of course, for very kindly sponsoring this video and give it a chance to jump in and check out the game. Let us know in the comments down below what you guys think. Let us know if you guys are Warhammer fans, whether that be of these games, just Warhammer in general. If you're going to be jumping in and checking this out, definitely let us know. But to begin with, let's not waste any time and let's start off with the genre itself. This is, as mentioned, a turn-based tactical RPG. It's somewhat similar to XCOM, so if any of you guys have played those games before, then you can use that as sort of like a baseline to how the game will play. You'll be controlling a squad of soldiers, and in this case we're playing as Grey Knight Space Marines, and you have to take on strategic missions whilst upgrading your base of operations and traveling the galaxy on the Baleful Edict, which is your very own Grey Knight's strike cruiser. Again, if you guys have played XCOM or similar games before, then your squad members can get wounded or even die, so you definitely want to be careful. You'll of course gather powerful weapons as you play throughout the game, armor, items, things like that to strengthen your squad, all whilst fighting against the clock of the spreading plague known as the Bloom. During your missions, you'll be moving your squad individually in turn-based combat form from cover to cover, shooting, chopping, or using psychic powers to destroy your enemies, and sometimes your shots will miss, sometimes they'll crit. It's the nature of this type of turn-based tactical RPG. Again, if you guys have played them before, you'll be very familiar, but if you're new, these are some of the things you need to expect. The story for the game will see you lead humanity's greatest weapon, the Grey Knights, against the corrupting forces of chaos. Armored in faith, shielded by devotion, the Grey Knight's very existence is rooted in mystery, enforced with mind wipes and executions. Experience life in the 41st millennium and follow the journey of these elite warriors in a narrative that is penned by acclaimed Black Library author Aaron Dembski-Bowen, and also Andy Serkis VOs in this game too. You'll root out and put a stop to the insidious plot to infect the galaxy with Bloom, an intergalactic cosmic plague capable of rotting the worlds into oblivion. The game definitely has some really awesome cutscenes, and the graphics are actually pretty cool too, so if you guys are heavily sort of into this story, into the sort of narrative, then you'll definitely get some nice experiences out of this one. But if we then move on to some of the more gameplay focused things, starting off with base upgrades. The Baleful Edict acts as your base of operations within the game, and this comes with the options to build new facilities and conduct research into arcane mysteries. For example, you could focus on improving your warp drive for faster ship speed, or upgrading the ship hull or guns. You can even unlock the Exterminators, which will quite literally destroy an entire planetary biosphere. So depending on, of course, your choices in game, your upgrades will influence the direction that you go. Of course, you also have missions. You'll engage in combat missions across multiple worlds to purge the spread of the Bloom as it corrupts without prejudice. Your choices will affect which planets succumb to the plague and which ones survive. So again, there is definitely some player choice in here. You'll also be making your squad and your classes. You command your own personalized squad of Grey Knights. You will learn a range of diverse skills, psychic abilities, unlock powerful equipment, and specialize your champions into 4 standard and advanced classes. You have the Purgator, who is basically your ranged attacker. They, of course, are heavy weapon specialists. With a coldly determined advance, the Purgator can unleash a steady stream of devastating fire with unerring accuracy. You then have the healer type, the Apothecary. They are combat medics and physicians. With unyielding courage, they will serve as the squad healer, tending to the wounds of the allies in the heat of battle, which is definitely very important, given that, of course, your units can die. You have the Scout type, the Interceptor. They're fast-moving skirmishers and combatants. They can utilize personal-sized teleporters. They can swiftly move around the battlefield and appear behind the enemy to dispatch key enemy targets. And you then have the tank type, the Justicar, a frontline heavy-hitting warrior armed with devastating weapons and bolstered by blessed armor. The Justicar will charge headlong into the heart of battle, withstanding the corruption of the Nurgle's vile champions. Each of your warriors can be customized with voice, armor, facial options to basically make them your own, and your Space Marines will, of course, again as mentioned, get wounded and damaged on missions. So much like in XCOM games, you will have a roster of soldiers to select from, and you'll then want to swap them in and out as and when they need to recover, and you'll also want to swap out your gear and abilities to basically further customize your characters. The game also features a precision targeting system where you plan your strategy with confidence, whether by taking shots from afar with, surefire accuracy, or dismembering and dismantling a foe in brutal melee combat. Sometimes when meleeing enemies, you can choose options for where to strike, say like Fallout system where you can sort of have the advanced targeting system and you can stun them or disable their ranged weapons by quite literally chopping off their arms. You then also have the Bloom and the Spreading Plague. As the Bloom corrupts the world, environments will evolve and erupt with deadly hazards and minions. Cultists and the infamous Death Guard Chaos Space Marines will mutate with the Pestilent Boons and Blessings, giving them new attacks and abilities. Bloom will also build up during missions, which causes detrimental effects the longer you take to finish off the enemies. So basically, you are kind of against the clock. And in addition to this, you also have Cinematic Slaughter, where you use the destructible environment to your advantage by tearing down pillars or slamming vehicles into unsuspecting enemies. You can push enemies off ledges or blow them off cliffs with the knockback of a grenade. The nice thing about this one is it kind of just provides you with little cinematic moments when attacking, running, or using your abilities that makes the game feel a lot more dynamic. So overall, there's plenty of exciting stuff to experience, and definitely for those of you guys that are Warhammer fans, this take on the genre, this sort of a thematic spin on it, is a really, really welcome addition. So that, my friends, are a few things that you should keep in mind, things to look forward to, things you should know about the new Warhammer Chaos Gate. Let us know in the comments down below if you guys intend to jump in and check this out. Let us know if you have any questions. If you've missed some of the recent videos on the channel, check out one of these linked on screen right now, and be sure to keep it locked for plenty more gaming content.